to What's Right with the World with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast, What's Right with the World. So, this just feels new. We're still getting the hang of it. Something new. So today we are talking about mental health awareness, right? So there's the awareness of depression and which obviously leads to suicide and it's a very heavy cause. So we're talking about how the awareness is really spreading on this subject. So, hopefully we can get more people, more help. So what was the article that you had today, Ben?
Well, the news article that we're basing this one off of is an article that came out in The Guardian a few days ago, early December. Children suffering from anxiety and depression will be offered counseling at school under government plans to tackle widely reported crisis in young people's mental health.
And that's in the UK, right?
Yeah, so starting in 2019... which critics say is not soon enough, but starting in 2019, they will be requiring counselors in school in England to deal with kids that have depression to help to be there and counsel kids that have depression and anxiety disorders and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So it's that it's an example of how the awareness that we have. Oftentimes we say that the technology is a bad thing and it's shrinking the world and stuff, but it's really raising awareness on a lot of issues. And I mean it's when you have somebody that's dealing with depression, or people who have committed suicide, like God knows I do. I've had some very close friends commit suicide. So it's when you have that stuff, it's so overwhelming that you just want there to be some help out there. And this is the direction that things are going, because we're seeing an epidemic of it happen, and which is sad. Well, we're looking at the positive side of it. And the positive side is that society is standing up, and people who have lost their loved ones are standing up and making a push to help things in the future so it doesn't happen as often. So the raising that awareness is a big part. And we're seeing it in the workplaces too. People, life coaches and wellness coaches being employed with businesses, where they have people, and somebody was just telling me about this yesterday, how they have somebody, basically a life coach on staff in their business, on site there all the time. This type of stuff is becoming more commonplace because, we're seeing that there's a need for it, and we need to really take care of people's well-being, mentally and emotionally, because that's what drives everything else. So the fact that we're seeing this and steps are being taken to improve the situation is huge.
Forever, really, there's been such a stigma around any sort of mental health disorder.
That's true.
And
as soon as you said that, I kind of got excited a little bit, because that's so true, and it's not like that anymore.
Well,
it's a lot less.
It's
anyway.
Growing,
right? Yeah, because I don't even think of it like that.
No,
there's before people every once in a while you'd hear about a story or something, and you, oh my God, well that you look at it and be like, oh, there must have been something specifically wrong in that situation, or maybe that person had some chemical imbalance or something like that. That's how it used to be kind of viewed, and nowadays we're understanding that that's not the case at all. There's nothing wrong with these people. It's just that there's depression, that there's things that are bothering them on a mental and emotional level that they're not able to deal with for some reason. And if we get people help, that we can actually help them out of those spaces. I mean, I've suffered with depression, at times in my life, and I've been suicidal at times in my life. So I know what it's like to be there. And when you're there, you don't have that spark of hope for the future. You don't see how things are going to get better. But if we can bring people in and just kind of, maybe hold their hand until they can get there, keep an eye on them until we can help them to see that there is hope, just a little bit longer, we can kind of bridge that gap and get the people the help that they need.
There is a fund in the United States called, I'm trying to look it up right now because I have a family friend whose daughter committed suicide, and they created a fundraiser every year that raises hundreds of thousands of dollars every year for this charity, and I think it's like the National Awareness.
While you look that up, it's the other thing that I heard that was really good, and I saw this on Facebook actually, was the suicide prevention text line. They have like a crisis line, because sometimes people don't want to pick up the phone and text. They don't want to pick up the phone and call. So texting can be a little bit easier way to deal with it. And I believe, I'll double check this, but I believe the crisis text line is 741-741. So, again, there's things that are coming up that we're using to try to help people that are in this situation, which is wonderful.
And I didn't want to get it wrong. It is the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Yeah.
And they really do a lot of things to help people who are suffering from mental illnesses and also on breaking the stigmas.
Yeah, and I bet you, at least probably 10 times in the last year, I've seen people sharing things on Facebook about either this texting crisis line or please share this to so people know that you care if you're struggling with depression and suicide hotlines and all this stuff. I mean, it's shared because people, if people are experiencing it on a grander level, that's obviously a bad thing. But if we use that to help more people and develop more programs so more people can get more help, then that funnels into a good thing. And that's what we're focusing on.
And if you have a positive story about an organization or people who are helping to shine a light on mental health issues, share it. Go over to our Facebook page, The Great Love Project. Use the hashtag What's Right with the World. Let us know about it. We'll share it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, get it out there. If you've got some help, if you're in touch with an organization or of an organization that can help people, then put it out there. Share it as much as possible. So if somebody is struggling, they may happen to run across it, or at least they've seen that post in the past, and they're like, okay, I got to reach out for some help. There are places.
And we're going to throw some links into the description of this episode.
Absolutely. So that's it. So that's our positive spin on a tough subject. So, there really is a lot of programs being developed to help people with this serious issue. So, if you are struggling out there, take it from somebody that's been there. It can get better. But the whole point is you can't see that it can get better right now. So don't try to see how it's going to get better from where you're sitting. Just reach out and get some help. Just reach out and get the help, and then eventually maybe you'll see how it can get better. So best wishes, and we'll talk with you soon.
Glenn is available for life coaching sessions, in person or via phone and Skype. To book an appointment or for more information, go to glennambrose.com, follow him on Facebook and Twitter, or click the link in the description of this episode.